fast, fatal heart impact. Past painful scars, in fact, I blast tasteful bars and past. I back up my actions back, don't ask, grab reactions, jacked. Attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new silver excuse, I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're just freaked out. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, whenever we last left off with this series, quite a lot of things were going on. Now, in the last part, Deku, he had his first day back at work in over a month. And Amelia, she was somewhat concerned about Deku. She was concerned because she didn't know if she would be able to maintain her identity as a human if she can't really go out. Her being stuck in the apartment reminds her about a lot of things back on her home planet. And right now, it is very stressful for her. However, you do actually have Deku. Deku, he's come back, and he's dealt with quite a lot of things. As whenever he was talking to Amelia, they decided to head to the store, and after leaving the store, Deku almost got robbed. Now, Amelia has never seen somebody, well, go through a situation like this as calmly as Deku did. To her, this was so surreal to see. It just doesn't make any sense. However, you do actually have Deku. Deku, he handled the entire situation without even throwing one punch, nor even using his powers. And to Amelia, that was fairly impressive. Now, we do currently have right now, about 3 to 4 months later, where Deku, yeah. Right now, he is working on a case. And so far, they've found many leads. However, yeah. The case has jumped to a point where Deku, he has to start working with some other officers. Especially because it's all led back to la-di-da, a gang. Now, we do currently have Deku, where he is driving a car with his sirens on, and he's flying straight through the air. As you do have an officer, to Deku's right, asking if he is following the right car. You asked that 5 minutes ago, I'm following the same damn car I was 3. Okay, so, you got eyes on him? I do. So, what now? What? Are you a fucking newbie? Call it in! Alright, shit, now, the person is going to throw their hand down and going to start at least typing in a few things. As you do have where somebody, on the other end, they do respond and they get the entire situation told to their bosses, or even the department. Now, you do have where the person are stumbling over the words before Deku, he does start to continue. Expressing that this is the make and model of the vehicle, and these are the current descriptions of the suspects. Now, you do actually have where somebody to go leaning out of the back seat of that flying car. As Deku, he can see them, as does see a weapon in one of their hands. And Deku, he does go to speed the vehicle up, as he does go to swerve it and fly to the right. His vehicle going upwards and above the vehicle, as there's also pull forwards above him. Now, the guy does ask Deku exactly what the hell is he doing? Okay. Are you strapped in? Yes. Why? Okay. You have your harness on, right? Kind of important, it's strapped to the damn seat. Good. I'm gonna flip this upside down, and I need you to fire off some shots into their engine. Upside... Are you fucking crazy? Okay. Listen, it's either you or me. You're driving. Yeah, I know. I'm also a pretty good shot. So, do you want to take the wheel? Okay. Shut up. Okay, hang on. Just keep the damn thing steady. Okay, trust me, I've been doing this for a long time. I know how to keep a car steady and maintain it well in the air, alright? Now, are you ready for this? Now, Deku and the guy, they do hear a few shots fire off. Deku assuming that they're firing into the bottom of his vehicle. As he does tell the guy to hang on, as he's going to flip the vehicle upside down, and they're directly floating above this vehicle. Deku going to pull down a bit low, as the car, it does actually go to do the exact same thing. the driver being told about it as they do try to dodge Deku. We do have where they do swerve to the left as the passenger. They actually do turn and see Deku as he was going to bring up his own gun. Him actually going from aiming at the people to aiming at the consoles where they have most of the electronics. Deku going to fire off a few shots as the person next to Deku, they are actually somewhat screaming at him. And Deku, after hitting the consoles and even hitting one of the suspects, you do have where the vehicle, it does start to somewhat slow down a bit. And the vehicle, it does not only lock up, but it does start to slow down a bit more and go down. And Deku, the moment that does actually happen, you do have where he does go to bring something up on his consoles and go to press down on it. As whenever he's directly above the vehicle, you do have where he does fire off a hook into it, and the car, it does just fly overhead. Now, the person who's in the car with Deku, they do talk about how he's a fucking psycho. Okay, you want the suspects caught, right? I told you, let me drive, I'll catch them. I said I wanted them caught, not shot at and nearly killed. Okay, so are you gonna keep bitching? Because we got some suspects to question. Now, the guy is going to roll down his window. Him somewhat going to lean out, as is at to pull himself backwards when he saw a guy with a gun. And a bullet does fly upwards towards them. Alright, so do you want to try that again, or do you want me to do my approach? How about your approach? Okay, good. Now, Deku is going to bring his hands down to the wheel, as he's going to pull it backwards, and the car is start to hover up into the air. The person kind of surprised, as Deku does still have his emergency lights on. And the people in the car, they actually are starting to scream and shout about exactly what the hell is he doing. Now, we do have where Deku does get up high enough into the air. And he does just do one simple thing. Turning to them and talking about how, if they really want to get questions, they do have to do at least sometimes the hard approach. Deku going to slam onto a button as his grappling hook does detach. The person asking exactly what is he doing, going to bring their hand up and over it. Deku grabbing their wrist and talking about how they at least do need to wait about another 5 seconds. 5 seconds? Do you even know how far they'll drop in that time? I do. Along with that, there's at least how much time the grappling hook needs to reel back in. You're crazy. I know. Deku slamming down to the button. As the hook does shoot down and Doki stab right into the end of the vehicle, that is the rear bumper. Now, it does break a few components on the way in. However, the car already needed a lot of maintenance. And whenever Deku does at least start to reel it back in, he does at least go to somewhat do one thing. He does go to actually lean his head out the window and say if they want to cooperate this time, then he won't drop them. You're fucking crazy! Yeah, okay. So, you boys are going to do me one little favor. When we get down about, a few hundred feet, I want you all to toss your weapons out. Once you do, then we'll be all good. Now, police officers are starting to crowd around the area where the vehicle was last seen. And you do actually have where Deku's vehicle is lowering down to a point. As ever, a lot of officers do announce that they're surrounded, there are just weapons being chucked out the window. And we do have where the vehicle is landed onto the ground and the men are put in handcuffs. As the person with Deku, they are at least trying to berate him and insult him to his face. And they do even turn to one of their, chiefs, or the sergeants, talking about how Detective Midoriya, he went far out of line for this case. And for this simple chase. Detective, your worries are noted. However, the current suspects, they're wanted on many charges. Along with that, they do have connections to gangs we can pin down. So, this chase, while it was unnecessary, and from what I have heard, very much negligible, I do believe that Detective Midoriya's actions were very much needed for today. He will be reprimanded in a way that will be fitting of this case, or at least of his well, negligence. Alright? How about that? Good. We can't have cops that came out here like this. Now, the person needed to walk away. As the sergeant does, turn to Midoriya and ask him if he dropped them again. Hmm? No, 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 I only dropped them once. Detective, need I remind you that you cannot keep doing that? I know. Then again, whenever a gang has the idea of dropping from, what, 5 miles up high, with nothing to protect them with the car, they're kind of incentivized to help, or at least cooperate. Detective, your methods are a bit extreme. However, you do get the job done. I cannot deny that. However, don't you believe that you are going a bit too far? Sergeant, not at all. I believe that my actions are justified with this. So please, allow me to run this case. I have already solved 3 more corresponding cases similar to this one. I've seen a pattern. I've been dealing with this enough to know the patterns. My help is necessary for this. Ah. Alright, Detective Midoriya. I'll see exactly what the Chief is thinking. Find out the information we know, find out what we don't. And I will get back to you on that. I believe I can contact you on your personal cell, correct? Yes, my personal line is fine. If not, at least run it through the police line. Understood. Now, Deku, he does at least go to drive away. As whenever he does get back to his apartment, he does walk into a strange smell. Him asking exactly what Amelia has done this time. Oh, um, well, I didn't really do anything. What do you mean? I'm cooking something. You're cooking something? Yes, I do hope it's alright. I saw recipes for something I was curious to try. You brought home some Earth cuisine before, and some I did want to actually test out. I believe you call it homebrew? Or Amelia the Corrector is homemade? Yes, that one. I was very curious to try it. I've been very careful with the measurements and trying to follow the recipe. However, it should be done in a few minutes. Deku at least walking to the kitchen, as he was going to look around and see exactly what she may have made. And it's something that Deku he does find to be quite surprising. He knows the dish, so he does just going to leave it at that. Him walking into his bathroom, going to hop in the shower. Him walking out in a pair of sweatpants, as he does go to grab something to drink. When he does go to pull out a cup of water, you do have where he does ask him exactly what she's been thinking so far. What do you mean? Well, you have been on Earth for a while now, right? I wanted to know exactly what your thoughts were on it. Earth. Yes, this is a very marvelous place. I'm just so surprised by it. Yeah. So, another question then. What about, well, what I've said before? What do you mean? What I've said before. You know, you're sort of, well, the last time we talked and you wanted to show me a bit more about space, you were very intoxicated. Yes, yes, it does appear that human alcohol is fairly stronger than our alcohol. Yeah, your species, from what I understand you describing it made from, it doesn't sound very alcoholic. Well, yes, that is correct. However, your species' liquor is also different from our own. That's a whole other thing. You actually have chemicals inside of it that we find to be a little bit like our own medical aesthetics. Really. Well, did I use that human term correctly? That was a very big word. Yeah, I'm surprised you even got halfway through it. Well, I'm meant to say aesthetic or anesthesia? I believe that is the correct one. I think so. But still, it's remarkable how fast you've been able to learn actual English. Well, yes, I understand that. But still, the, necklace, it does help. Yeah, I know. It's just so surreal, though. What was it? 2 months ago, you were still trying to figure out how to do basic things. But you've made a lot of improvements. Learning how to write, learning how to actually, well, dress accordingly, and how to blend in and how to actually hold conversations. Even speaking was actually a bit more difficult for you, wasn't it? It was, yes, but I was able to find my own way. That is correct. So, I do want to say this at least. I'm at least a little bit more confident in not only getting you a key to the apartment, but maybe even allowing you to go out on your own. Really? Yeah, but that's another thing. While I'm confident you can go out on your own, I'm still a bit more concerned. You know how you talked about the mind melding process? Oh, yeah, yes, that. Her going to look away. And Deku, he does just stare at her for a minute. She's still embarrassed about that. What does it mean to them, though? It must be pretty important if it's embarrassing to her. Hell, her type of embarrassment for her species is strange from what he's seen so far. Well, I this process, it's a very strange and complicated one for my species. Is it now? Yes, as both of us will be connected temporarily, you and I will be able to see things from each other's memories, our past, and live those events as if they were our own. Yeah, I know. So, what about this process? You've talked about it before. I want to show you a bit of how the streets are out there, a bit of how life is out there, what places are safe, maybe, what places you can go to and not have to worry about, and ones that you would have to be a bit more cautious about. Does that make sense to you? No, no, your logic is sound and it is good, but, well, you will see things about my species as well, and you will learn a bit more. Perhaps you might even understand our language. Well, I really hope I don't keep my human hearing with that. No, no. Anything like that, you will, well, feel differently. You'll be able to hear like us, and as far as I'm aware, any pain or, well, discomfort you feel, it will feel as if it is dulled from what you believe you will feel. Dulled. Oh, you mean like a phantom pain? Yes, that's the word. Okay, good. Not gonna lie, you might take a few hard knocks in, if you're going through my past. Really? Yeah, yeah, this, isn't easy, but, I know it'll help you, and I feel like this is gonna come out eventually. What is it? Amelia, there are a lot of things I don't share about my past. There's a lot not everybody knows about me. And, well, in an effort to make you safer here on the planets, I want you to know these things about my planet. However, you'll be perceiving them through my eyes. So there's that. It's a lot more than I can ever sit you down, try to explain to you. So, this process I feel like is needed. I do appreciate this. However, I am concerned about the time dilation. Hmm? Dilation? Yes, if we remain too focused, and or at least too, well, I don't even know the correct word in human terms, but if we lose sight as to what's going on, we could be, as you could put it, trapped to a point where we will be exhausted. Oh, I see. Yes. Um, our visions may not end with us being able to return properly. There will be side effects, such as lost time, that's the main one, and, well, more than likely we'd wake up with head pains and a lot more time missing. Really? Yes, yes. So, right now, I believe that you should be prepared for that. Now, Amelia is going to stand up, informing Deku that while he is going to continue to eat, she will be getting the preparations made for this. And Deku does stare at her kind of confused for a minute. Her walking away as Deku does stare at his plate, continuing to eat as he does think about what is going on. And you do actually have where Amelia, she does come walking back into the living room and go to set down a few things. There was a scented candle in the bathroom, and she grabbed that. And then you do at least have where she does at least go to grab something that would allow Deku and her to both be a lot more comfortable. Her setting down some pillows by the couch, as she also does at least go to grab a blanket. Deku just staring kinda confused, as Amelia does then go to run over to the sink and get two very large cups of water. And Deku, he does watch her set them down, as she does at least go to start messing with the couch a bit. Her informing him to please come over here. What is it? Sit down here. Okay, Deku just plopping down onto the couch. And Amelia just asks him to please hold on to this, as she just hand over the blanket to him. Now, Amelia should just stare at him as she's going to do one thing. She's going to bring her hands up and stretch her arms. As she's going to bring her hands up to her head and start to try and focus. Telling him that this will probably be a lot more hard to do because he is of a different species. However, as their brains are very similar, they should be compatible for this process. She's going to have to be a lot more involved here. So, this may be very strange. Now, Deku, he is sitting there as Amelia's just going to grab the blanket and then go to just bring it up around herself, asking Deku to please wrap this around himself as well, as she's going to sit down directly on top of him. Yeah. Now, Deku, he does try to think. Okay, maybe this wasn't a good idea. Are you ready? Yeah. Yeah. Now, Amelia is going to bring her left hand, her wrapping it around Deku's back. I just wrap it directly above his spinal cord, and then going to bring up her other hand. Her going to bring Deku's forehead directly to her own. As she just tell him that this process is going to temporarily shock his system, and for a split second he will feel completely dazed and confused whenever he does regain consciousness. So, he needs to be aware as to the problems he may face. And he needs to maintain focus. Exactly who he is. Find something he can mentally latch onto. And please focus as if he is going to reach out. And Deku, he does is going to do this. Him and Amelia are both, right now, mentally connected. However, it feels strange. There's something there. There's something Deku's been missing. He couldn't see it at first. It's like he was standing in a room and a door just appeared. Now, Deku, he does wait on Amelia, as he does ask her exactly what she is going to be doing. Focus on a symbol. A symbol? Yes. Focus on it and tell me when you are ready. Now, Deku, he does just going to try and focus on something. Him going to bring his hand up and look down at a symbol that he does remember. Him just thinking about it. Right now he has it on the palm of his hand. And he'll never forget about it. Him walking over to the door, as he just feels a strange compulsion to it. And we do actually have where Amelia does go from leaning her head directly onto Deku's forehead to going to bring her chin upwards and directly bring her lips to Deku's. As the moment that does actually happen, we do have where Deku, after he did get to the door, he does feel a sudden and strange jolt. As currently Deku, he's looking up and around. Huh? Deku looking down at his hands. Where is he? Hey bro! I'm gonna look up. What are you doing? Huh? What do you mean? Come on, man. What's going on? You look strange. Oh, my bad. Shit, sorry. Just, something happened from it. I'm kind of just out of it. No shit, dude. You took a heavy blow back there. What'd you think? Guy fucking clocked your ass. He clocked me. I mean, yeah, you got blood on your face. Deku bringing his hand up to wipe the side of his face. His hand is covered in a red smudge, which it does feel a bit thicker. And he does stare at it kind of surprised and kind of alarmed. Before, whenever police sirens they are heard, you do have where Deku he does watch his friends go to book it, and he himself is going to follow as well. As we do currently have over with Amelia. Amelia, she's surprised. She does look down. There's grass under her feet. And the sky. The smell. Fresh air. It's not something that she's had in a long time. The sky looks so beautiful. Now, we do have where somebody they go to tap on Amelia's arm. As when she's going to turn, someone they do go to kneel down, asking if the princess is, at least for the time being, alright. She did suffer from a nasty fall. I am quite alright, thank you. Are you sure? You seem to have been out of it. You were staring up at the organic sky. Or the inorganic sky, the hologram projector. Projector? Yes. I'm very sorry, Princess. For the time being, our home planet, it is under siege. And for right now, the one we currently are inhabiting, the weather conditions do seem to be more extreme. However, the domes, they should be able to hold us for a while. Protect us for the time. At least until a more hospitable planet can be found. I do hope you understand this. I do not wish to lie to you, Amelia. Well, you are kind. You are also, well, one who does need to understand things. Your mother and father would find it to be very immature of you if you did not. Right. Mother and father? That doesn't feel right. Now, Amelia, she is led away. As she does at least go to look back towards the sky. The strange shades and mix of color up there. They're so foreign to her eyes. Even though she feels like she's seen them 1,000 times. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. And have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.